So, we've made it all the way to the end of the first 4 short novellas. The Murderbot series ended for quite a while after the first 4 books, leading up to a longer book that I hope to cover later this week. But for now, let's talk about the culmination of all the other short stories, because this one, Exit Strategy, is it. People who Murderbot cares about from the former novel are effectively kidnapped, and Murderbot has to go into their company in order to save them. This leads to a buildup of a lot of the background information that Murderbot has been saying. For example, Murderbot has said, these people aren't taking me seriously enough. They don't have this kind of robot. And in this book, they're, of course, oh no, they brought that robot. In addition, of course, bringing all of the former books into the mix makes it more personal in this story. And since Murderbot in the previous book, for the first time, chose to help people of their own volition, that means that in this book, since they're doing so much because of something they cared about in their first book, it feels like they've changed to become more emotional, more personal, and more of an individual. So it feels like there's personal growth in this book as well. I was actually wondering why Murderbot isn't just one book with the first 4 books in it, and I thought about it a bit, and that would feel repetitive. I'm actually very happy with the first 4 stories of the Murderbot franchise being this shorter, compact format, because you could get through it in a day, and if you had them all in one book, it would feel like a somewhat repetitive story. I've already been talking about the formula of Murderbot gets involved with some activity to help out either the humans or themselves, or to find new data. They end up getting kind of existential about it. They meet a friend. That friend is in trouble. They end up having to use their Murderbot techniques in order to save them. There's a big fight at the end. And then they continue on kind of like in a knight-errant fashion to the next mission, I guess, even though it's a personal discovery. And that's a pretty fun formula for me. And I think having one book with 4 of those stories with a beginning, middle, and end would be a little problematic. I'm actually worried that the next book will have that issue, because that's one long book, and I think that this is Martha Wells is a mostly short story writer. So I'll be looking for that problem in the next book. But that problem does not exist here. With all of the sneaking around, with all the callbacks, with all of the emotional payoff of this book, I think that this deserves a place among some of the great sci-fis, actually. I really like the Murderbot quadrilogy. There's actually a separate version of this text called Home, if I'm not mistaken, that stars the perspective of the friend who has been kidnapped. And that book I'll need to get to this week as well, I suppose. I hope that you all managed to enjoy your reading of the Murderbot series, and hope you enjoy those soap operas. Goodbye, everyone. I am the veteran of 1,000 private wars. Today I learned that you were always the one I was fighting for.